Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick follow-up video on the wire fraud video we did. I think it was last week. You can find it somewhere down there. It's the one that says agent almost hit with wire fraud. As you'll remember in that video, we talked about how one of our great agents, Penny Broach, we got an email from her after closing saying, here's the wiring instructions for my seller. The email looked exactly like every email Penny's ever sent us with her picture, everything. So look at that video down there and you'll see how incredibly close that email looks to what Penny's emails already look like. My staff did exactly what they're supposed to. Stephanie did not send the wire out. She called Penny, she called the seller to make sure that was the correct information, and we quickly learned it was not. So we avoided a $153,000 check going or wire going to the wrong place. Remember, once it's wired, there's very little chance of getting it back. So the follow-up I wanted to do today is something that Penny and I talked about after this happened. And one thing I would recommend that you do is early and often tell your client, whether it's the seller or the buyer, you will never, ever, ever get wiring instructions from you. Tell them that as an agent, I don't bother with the wiring instructions. You get the wiring instructions directly from the closing attorney and only from the closing attorney. Don't accept wiring instructions from the lender. Do not accept wiring instructions for somebody who's acting as you or another real estate agent. And don't get involved in wiring instructions. I would never forward wiring instructions as an agent to another client or to your client, and I would let them know from the very beginning of the day that you sign up with them that you may get email instructions saying wire here that look like they're from me. They're fraudulent. They're not from you. Just let them know that and remind them that from the first day of the transaction all the way up, particularly as you get close to the transaction. Constantly remind them that you will never be sending them wiring instructions. If they get an email about wiring instructions from you, it's a fraudulent email. Only the closing attorney should be the one getting sending the email. And when they get the email from the closing attorney, they don't need to rely on the email solely. They need to call the closing attorney and say, hey, I got wiring instructions from you. I just want to make sure that these are legitimate. Okay. Hopefully those two steps right there will pretty much eliminate any wiring fraud that we have, or most of it. All right. Good luck, and see you at a closing real soon.